Hi, this is Joseph DJ from Puerto Rico. What I want to do today is show you the easiest way to connect your powered speakers with a mixer for any kind of gig. I said make sound of probably a DJing, probably karaoke party, probably video party, whatever you want to do. This is something like this on YouTube, fast and very easy. Your equipment, mixer, XLR cable through the sub. It's gonna go here, the A part. All right, this is our AgSet ZX81 sub, and from the sub you're gonna connect the loudspeaker. All right, I always use it on 0, so I control the volume and the power of the volume that I want to use on the mixer. All right,
Hello and welcome to another AE for You instructional video.
Alright folks, this video is all about showing normal speakers need a signal so you can get sound out of them. You do need those two things, but like anything in life, if you abuse them...
Hey, this is James with Easy Audio Rental. Got power coming in. Plug in your PA speakers. I like to wrap power cord around the stand just for safety in case something comes undone. You're not going to lose sound. Up at the top here, we've got a red indicator piece of tape. The cord has red tape on it, and the volume is at half. That's where you want to start. Over here where the yellow is, we're not using that right now, so we're going to turn the volume all the way down so it doesn't induce any static. The other side is the same story. We've got a red piece of tape with an XLR cord. Find your adjustment. And wiggle. The other side of the cord, the 1/4" jack with yellow tape. Find your yellow tape indicator. You can see in there, there's an L indicating the left side of the table, and the other one is already pre-connected going to the right. If you need to hook up the 1/4" jack with yellow tape, find your yellow tape indicator. You can see in there.
like a Hellcat. Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat. Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
adapters, this won't fit in there because these are 1/4 inch sockets and you need adapters for them. 1/4 inch jack to RCA. These are fairly cheap at any electronics store. Just plug them in, left and right channel, and match them with the color of the cable. So red for right and white for left. Okay, and then make sure all the volumes are all the way down, even your gains, and set everything to 0 before you start mixing.
descriptive and clear quality of a video of how to basically just hooking up this to the computer. And as you can see, I'm pointing to my computer, but you guys can't see it, so there's really no point of that. So to hook this up to the computer is pretty much, it's really simple. It's not really highly complex like people would say it is. And I'm just going to list the ways that you can use instead of things you can use to hook up your mic instead of using a mixer. You can go on and buy an interface which has the XLR slot in there already and a USB port coming out. Or you can go get the Blue Icicle, which is an XLR to USB converter. Or another option is you can find a mixer with a USB interface already in there. So the first thing you will have to have is pretty much the mixer. And what I have here is the Behringer, or the Behringer Z-Mix 802. And what else you need is the interface. And I have a Behringer UCA 202, and it has a USB interface and the RCAs to connect it to here. Well, I don't really think you need these two, but this is if you want to play music into the channel, and I'll teach you guys that. I'm not going to say you'll need this right now. You'll need two RCA cables, red and white, which is basic. Yellow for video, for people who don't know. So you have two RCA cables, that's what you need. And headphone jack, a 3.5 jack to a 1/4 jack, which basically lets you play your music back in through your headphones and use your regular headphones instead of using a 1/4 jack headphone. But yeah, let's get a closer look to this, and I'll teach you guys how to set this up. Set this up, basically, start with your RCA cables, get both of them. Start with one right now. So, let's put in the CD to tape, or CD/tape, whatever how you say it. Red to red, white to white. Put that to the side. Get your other RCA cable. Put it in the other, which is the output. Red to red, white to white. And let that hang. Next step is your USB interface. And as you see, there's RCA slots for it, the input and the output. So what you want to do is get your input one, which should be the first one on the left. Get that side. Go over here, put in your output, which should be on your far right. And red to red, white to white. And you have that now. The input is connected to the output. Now, get your output and connect it into your input. White to white, red to red. So now, you successfully connected your USB interface to your mixer, which this is basically the converter for your mixer, so you can hook it up to your computer. This allows you to have a plug and play situation right there. All you do is plug it, the computer will recognize it, and you can start recording once you have your mic set up in here. So the next step is putting your 3.5 jack to a 1/4 jack into the phone, which is located right here on the top. It says phone, labeled right. Put it in there. This is if you want to use your regular headphone, say as an iPod headphone, or a jack that looks like this. So what I got here is a headphone extension. If your headphones are not long enough, go buy a headphone extension. Works well. Plug it in there, and now you have a headphone extension for your 3.5 jack. You can put that. I'm just gonna take it out since it's really long. The next step is having the XLR cable. I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning, but XLR cables has the 3 pins, the male and the female. What you want to do is get your female, put it in your first channel. Now you have a mic right there. So the next thing is make sure you have a mic, which I will show you what it should look like on the mic stand and how to hook it up. With your head cam mode, and what you need is your mic, as you should know. So the first thing, when you have your mic, put on your mic stand, which you should have. And for you guys who wonder, this is the amstel 990. Adjust it to your own height, and I will not do that since I don't really need to do it, since I really don't use it that much. Get your pop filter, and make sure to have, when you buy pop filters, make sure you have this part, and at least a part that can go like this for the pop. So what I like to do for the pop filter is I like to put a style to it so it doesn't look boring. So I get my pop filter, go over here, twist this knob on there. And I like to twist it a little like that, kind of angle it, and it should look like this. Next step for putting, basically just get this done, is get your other side of the XLR cable and plug it in. It should click in there. This is what it should look like. Now over here, you're set. Just put your headphones in there and plug this in, and plug the mixer in. Once you do that, just press these 2 buttons right here. CD, the tape to control, press that, and the phantom. Well, I should hook this up to show you guys the mixer at least. So you have your mixer on. You press this button, the CD, the tape, control. That controls your headphone volume. Press the phantom power. That powers your mic. And right here, this is your main mix, which basically controls your mic volume. Well, not really, but that's your main mix for everything. So now you got your channel. You turn the volume up right here, and that's pretty much this part now. So if you want to play music through an aux cable like this, well, not really an aux cable, but it's an RCA to a 3.5 jack. If you want to play it through the channel instead, because you want to mess with the EQs, you get an RCA to 1/4 jack, put in the 3/4 channel, both of them in there. And for reference, if you don't know where the red and white go, look at this. So red at the bottom, white on top. Now you can play it through the channel, your music. I hope this video helped, and if you guys have any questions or anything, then I'll help you guys. Oh yeah, I forgot. So you have the main out right here, which basically you plug it in, plug RCAs or whatever out to speakers and amps like that. And if you want to do a karaoke system, it's pretty easy. Since you have the karaoke system and you want it to go in, you plug the input in the karaoke system and the output in here, so it goes in, and then just get the speakers and put it out this way. But yeah, I hope this video helped, and like I said, if you have any questions, just tell me.
Hey guys, Zelda's here, and today I have a follow-up of my previous video from, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago on how to connect your analog mixer to your computer. This is actually on how to connect your analog mixer to a laptop now, which is basically the same principle of how to connect your mixer to any computer or so. This is only if your mixer doesn't have any USB audio interface. You get a lot of noise, of course, unless you buy something like this. This is the Behringer UCAE Control 222, which is a USB audio interface. Yeah, I'll get to that in another video or so. But basically, right now we are going to connect this to my laptop. So what you are going to need is, again, these adapters, which are very cheap at any electronics store. These are 1/4 inch jacks to RCA. We need 2 of those or more if you need to connect a lot more instruments to the mixer. Well, we only have the microphone, which is a BM800 right here. So yeah, so let's get started. First things first, you want, and also I have forgotten this, you need a RCA cable to 3.5mm jack, which will connect this mixer to the laptop. So first step, dial all volumes down, which is of course important. Number 2, find your main out. So for me, these are this 2 sockets here, and we plug in the 1/4 inch jacks, adapters I mean. So we have RCA, and next get the cable. We will plug, of course, to the corresponding colors, R for red and L for white. Okay, this cable will then go into the laptop, but where? So usually laptops have 2 ports there, which are always or usually headphone and microphone. So as this doesn't have a line in, we will plug in the 3.5mm jack to the mic input. So now we can plug in any other peripherals that we have. We have my BM800 here, which is a condenser mic, which requires phantom power. This does have built-in plus 15 volts phantom power, which isn't a problem. This mic accepts 15 volts, unless my Behringer C1 only accepts plus 48 volts. So, second step, as the mic in has gain control, we want to turn that off because our sound will be distorted if we turn it on. So you go into Windows. I am running Windows 10, by the way, and look for the sound icon. Right click and go to recording devices. So we'll have this one here. You will have microphone. Okay, next step, just double click on it and you will come to this window. go to levels and turn off microphone boost. We don't want to have that because the sound will be distorted that's coming in, and by turning that off the sound will actually be like sound like a line in. There's no apply, and I would turn off all enhancements as well, so disable all sound effects and go to advanced and turn off also exclusive mode, and that's it actually. So click OK, but in order to have our levels right, I would set the level to about 70 or so it won't be at max volume, and hit OK, and that's all you have to do. And then when you want to record, I use usually Adobe Audition for my DAW. You can also use what do you call this, Audacity, which is actually free. I'll put the link down below. You'll have to set your main mix if you want to record, of course. You want to have your main mix always at 0, which is I usually recommend. 0 is in the middle, so on some mixers it's a slider, so you'll have to look for the 0 mark and put it there, which is actually the main mix is the total volume that's going out of your mixer, which is going out through here to the laptop. So you want to have perfect level volume in your recordings, and always when you're gonna record, check your levels. I'll be next time doing I'll do another video on how to connect your mixer 3 different ways or more to the computer, and we'll be seeing more of this mixer, this UCA control 222, which is a sound card, and my current mixer, which is a Behringer Xenix 102 QX102 USB. A lot of cables there, yeah, which is a good mixer actually. I really like it. It has compressors. I did an unboxing of this, you can see right here. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this, give it a thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next one. Peace.
Hey, I'm going to show you today how to hook up an audio mixer to the PC. This video features the Behringer Xenix 502 audio mixer. It has one microphone input with phantom power, 2 stereo line inputs, 1 tube and equalizer for the mic, a stereo line main output, headphones out, and a RCA in and output. So this is the upper area of the mixer. Here you can input a mic with phantom power or line in, and these are also line inputs. This is the main out right here, and here you can plug in your headphones. These are all large 6.35mm audio jacks, so you would need an adapter if you're using equipment with a small 3.5mm audio jack. So this is the lower area of the mixer. Here you can control the gain from the mic, the equalizer with the highs and lows, then pen, which is for the stereo effect, and this controls the volume level of the microphone. These are both for the line inputs at the top. This is 2 and 3, you can only control the level and the stereo balance, and this is the same for the inputs 4 and 5. These are the CD tape inputs and outputs, and you will need these RCA cables for these connectors. These 2 buttons determine where the sound from the mixer will be played. So if you press down this one, CD tape to phones, you will only hear the sound on your headphones but not in the final mix. And if you press down this one, as it's labeled here, the sound will make it into the final mix. On the right is the volume control, which displays the volume, but it will only work if you have CD tape to phone selected. And last but not least, this is the control for your headphones, and this is the main mix control. So I'm gonna show you which cable goes where to connect the mixer to your PC. First of all, you need to plug in your microphone either into the XLR or the line input. XLR will deliver better sound quality though. So this is an adapter for the little audio jack, and you plug it in right here. Notice that you can only use one of the mic inputs at the same time. Then plug the RCA cables from your sound card in your PC into the CD tape input from the mixer, and these two go to your microphone input on your sound card because they are the output from your mixer. Now you can already mix the sound sources from your mic and your PC, but you could also use these adapters and don't use the CD tape input, but rather one of the line inputs at the top. The white cable is the left channel and goes in the upper slot, and the red one is the right channel. So this is great now because you can control the PC volume from the line input separately. Before it was only possible to control it in Windows. Now finally, plug in your headphones. I'm using an adapter for this. Screw it on and plug it in right here. And now you're good to go. Now you can control the main mix, the mic, and the PC volume individually.
Hi everyone, it's Vacho here from recordingstudio9.com, and thanks for joining me again. Today I will be discussing the zero latency trick for the Behringer's Q502 USB mixer, a trick that I have explained previously, and if you haven't watched that video, you can just click here and that will take you there and you can come back. So in this video I will actually demonstrate to you how the audio routing of the Behringer's Q502 mixer works. That way you have a better understanding of what is happening behind the scenes. So without any further ado, let's get onto the screen and I'll explain all about it. Here is a typical audio recording setup, whether a microphone or a musical instrument. The audio is directed to the headphone as well as to the laptop or the PC via the USB connection, where the mixer has built-in internal analog to digital conversion. With the routing position as shown, with both two phones and two main mics in up position, the audio from the microphone is directly sent to the headphone as well as to the laptop or the PC via the USB connection. This gives zero latency audio from the microphone to the headphone. If you want to be able to hear anything played on the laptop or the PC via the USB connection, we need to adjust the routing settings with the two phones pressed down and two main mics pressed up. This directs any audio via the USB to the headphones. At the same time, it cuts off any audio from the mixer. With the same routing position, while we can hear any audio from the laptop or the PC via the USB, any audio through the microphone is also directly sent to the USB, and we are able to record that new track, though we are not able to hear any of the audio from the microphone. With the routing position of two phones in up and to main mix down position, we are now able to hear both the audio coming from the laptop or the PC via the USB, as well as the audio from the microphone directly to the headphones. Though we are able to hear both audio signals onto our headphones with no delay, this creates a new problem. The audio being sent to the laptop via the USB connection not only includes the audio from the microphone, but at the same time it also includes, mixed together, the same audio that's being played back from the laptop. So track number 2 being recorded is a combined signal. This may not be what is desired. It's sort of like an overdubbing effect, where track 1 being played back is combined with the new audio from the microphone and recorded into track 2. With the routing position set to two phones down and to main mix up, this cuts off again any audio from the microphone of the mixer to the headphones. But if we enable the track 2 listen mode on, that means any audio coming in is routed back to the mixer via the USB, we are now able to hear what is being played back as track 1. We are able to record the microphone and only the microphone into track 2, and coming back from the laptop is track 1 as well as the new track 2 to the headphones. But this creates another problem. The processing of the audio from the microphone into the mixer and to analog to digital conversion and sent to the PC or the laptop via the USB, being recorded and then played back and then sent back again to the mixer via the USB into our headphones, creates a process delay, which is the latency. So while we are listening to the headphones, anything that we record from the microphone will have a slight delay, and this can be confusing. To overcome the latency, with the routing option same as before, with the two phones down position and to main mix at up position, we can connect the RCA loop lead on the RCA connections on the mixer itself. This routes the audio from the mix and combines it with the audio from the USB. We have to make sure that we never press down to main mix button, because this will create a loopback which may damage the mixer. With the RCA loop lead connected and the listen mode turned off on the laptop in your DAW, here's what happens. The audio from the microphone can be heard on the headphones directly with no latency. At the same time, the microphone audio itself is also sent to the laptop or the PC via the USB, which is recorded as track 2. And as track 1 being played back on the laptop or the PC is sent back to the mixer via the USB, which is combined and sent to the headphones. So we can hear both track 1 playback and our direct microphone audio onto our headphones while we are recording just the microphone as track 2 in our DAW. And once we have completed all of our multiple track recording, we can connect our speakers or our headphones and enjoy our musical creation. Well, I hope that explained it. Now you know in detail how the audio routing works and what all the different buttons of the audio routing switches do, and why we would need those RCA connections to actually get our zero latency. So if you like this video, give me the thumbs up. I love getting the thumbs up. That way I know it was helpful for you. And if you have any comments in anything else in regards to this video, feel free to comment below and I'm more than happy to answer them for you. Of course, as always, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you are kept up to date with any new video that I upload, any new information on audio recording and everything else as such. Feel free to also visit my website, recordingstudio9.com, because there's a lot more information there. Also blogs and articles that I write, which is not on YouTube. So I hope I'll see you there as well. And until then, I hope you make lots of great music and enjoy. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, this is Hobbit Assassin 08 here, and today I've got another tech review for you. As you can see, this is the Behringer Xenix 502 mixer. This is a great entry-level mixer, very small, and perfect for those of you who with a low budget and an at-home recording studio. So you're not really interested in the box, so I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And here is the actual mixer. Alright, so as you can see there, it's fairly small. There's it next to my hands. Alright, this little mixer weighs only 1.2 pounds or 0.55 kilograms. It's extremely portable, powered off of one AC power adapter. I'm not sure the exact wattage, but this is a great device. And so first off, I'm going to basically go through the functions and features of this. And to start off, here we have, sorry about that, one of the coolest things about this is that this mixer is in fact phantom powered. There's only one phantom power on it right here. I don't know if we have one phantom power, but what that means is essentially higher end microphones or such as well, this is a mid-level microphone, the MXL 990 for example. That is a microphone that requires phantom power, and so it's real nice to be able to have this, be able to use a fairly nice microphone and still be at an at-home studio for a low price. This retails for, I believe I got mine for about $45.99, somewhere in there. I believe it was about 50, maybe upwards of 60 with tax and shipping and handling. But like I said, this is by Behringer. This is a German audio company. They're known for very great quality audio equipment, and they have a lot of other ones. There's a step up from this known as the Behringer 802, and it's basically the same thing, a little bit more features, a little bit more line in, and an extra phantom powered slot, so you have two instead of just the one. So here we have, to begin, we have your CD tape, RCA. Those are with your standard adapters that go to 1/8" jacks. Here you have your mixer volume. You have your headphone volume, which come out here. You also have your main out, your line in 4 and 5, your line in 2 and 3, and your main microphone. You have a basic 1/4" jack and a XLR. So, like I was saying, this is a great device. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plug it in for you. The power cord for this is pretty much just a basic cord. It's got a little bit of a brick on the end. It's plugged into the wall though, so I'm not going to be able to get that up here right now. But all you got to do is right here in the back, you're just going to go ahead and plug this in. It's even got an arrow showing you which way is up. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, you can barely see it, but it's got an arrow. So all you got to do is you go ahead and plug this in, and instantly you can see there the light lights up. Now, this is one of the downsides to this mixer. Basically, the only way to turn this on and off is if you take out the power cord. There's no on and off button. I don't really know why. I wish there had been a little switch back here or something, but yeah, sadly there's not. And the LED right there, it's a blue one. I don't know if you can tell, it's fairly bright. Well, that's the point. It's very bright, and it kind of shines in your eyes in a dark room situation. But real quick, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can go ahead and set this up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to leave this sitting here, and I'm going to pull out, first off, pardon any clattering around or noise. I've got, here's one, and here is two RCA cables. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to plug these in like I would if I was about to use this for recording. So one there, one there. This is your input and this is your output. I'm going to go ahead and take this other one and plug it into the one next to it. Now this is not the highest quality you can get using these RCA, but for someone like me who's just doing basic in-home recording, this works perfectly fine. So what that's going to leave you with is an in and out. Sorry about this. Okay. So here you go. Now you have your microphone into your computer and your audio into your mixer. So this will provide, for instance, your instrumental to your headphones to listen to, and this will send your mic to your computer to record it. So what we're going to go ahead and do is next what I use. Now I have a review of this device, but for those of you with the 13-inch MacBook Pro, you only have a one slot, which basically works as an audio in and a audio out, depending on how you set it up in your preferences. So what this is this is just a Griffin iMic, and so all we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to plug the sound one into the mixer, into the out port, and we're going to plug the microphone into the in port. Okay? So there you have it. And now you basically just plug this into your computer, and from there I've got a I go into that in more detail into the iMic video. But yeah, so this is really a great device. You have your LED readouts here. Some specs on this. This is a it's got the neoclassic 2-band equalizer for a warm musical sound. It's got really ultra low noise, high headroom, so it's really great. Phantom power, as I said. It's a 5 input and 2 bus mixer. So overall this is great. I'm gonna go ahead and show you some other things, how I've got it set up, like I said. Now when I run this, I actually do 2 outputs of the headphone jack, and I use a adapter. This is a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter, which goes right in there into the slot. I'm sorry, it seems like it's a little far away, but we have the 1/4 inch, and it just goes right there into that slot. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this splitter, just a basic, normal headphone splitter, and go ahead and set it in there. So now what I do is I go ahead and I send one of them to my speakers for playback and review, and one of them to my headphones for the vocalist to record and hear the music. Now this doesn't, you kind of lose a little bit of the sound quality, but honestly it works just fine for me, I've found. So there you go. And then lastly, for the microphone, I go ahead and I have an XLR cable, and all I do is I just plug it right in like so. And you are basically ready to record. All you have to do is attach a mic to the end of your XLR. You also have the option, if you have a microphone which does not require phantom power, such as this one by Audio-Technica. It actually has the phantom powered, sorry about this, it actually has the phantom power contained within by a battery and activated by a switch on the side. All you have to do is you can use actually a 1/4 inch jack, such as this one, and just run it into that input right there. So overall, this is a great mixer. For those of you that are just starting out, this is excellent. Low price, affordable, shipped here fairly fast, I'd say about a week, and it's great. So some of the functions real quick. Right here, you have your main mix. So all you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to turn this up. Right here, you want to turn it, I'm sorry, I realize how far away this is. So all you're going to do is you're just going to turn your main mix up a little bit, and that'll allow your master, that's your master volume for your mixer. Okay, and here these are LED lights. I don't know if you can see them, but those will read out how much the level of audio coming in. Here next to it, now this is actually very important. In order to hear the noise coming through the mixer, you actually need to hit right here, CD tape to phones. So just like that, and that will enable you to hear it out of your phone port. And then right here you have your microphone volume, and you have gain, EQ, low, pan. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out real quick and let you get a close-up shot of that. Alright. So here, as you see, you've got your main mix. There's your LEDs, your left and right. You have your phones. Here's the CD button that you push right here. This one is if you want to send it to your mixer. Here is a, I forget what that is actually. It's your line output or inputs. If you have some other inputs, but honestly I've never used this one. And here is your microphone. So just turn it up and turn it down. You've got your pan, your I'm sorry, I can't see it. Your equalizer, your high and your low, and then you've got your gain. So overall, great piece of tech for those of you starting out with home recording studios. Super portable, super lightweight, and I would recommend getting one. They also have one coming out soon that is the Xenix 302 USB, which will, instead of running off of AC power, I believe it'll plug directly into your computer and run off of that. So overall, like I was saying, great device. Retails at about, I believe it's $55. You could probably get it lower in some places depending on where you shop. And it's great. Sound quality has been excellent for me, and you just basically got to know how to use it. So this has been Hobbit Assassin 08 with a review of the Behringer Xenix 502. Short little show you of how to set up. If you would like an in-depth video of how to do that, go ahead and comment below and I will get onto that for you. So hope you enjoyed the video. This has been Hobbit Assassin 08 again. Have a nice day. Peace.
Hello and welcome to this third of the 6 tutorials. Chapter 3, Setting Up. The tutorials I have created are intended for people with little or no recording experience. I have tried to keep the information as simple as I can, with very little technical reference. If you have any questions, please email me at the following address, mark@homerecordingstudio.com.au. So let's begin. In our last tutorial, we discussed equipment. What will you need to buy and the price ranges they fall into. In this tutorial, we will look at the signal path and how it's all connected together. The microphone shock mount, the microphone stand, the microphone cable, the mixer, the output and return cable, the computer, and the software. The first step is to unfold your microphone stand. Spread out the support legs and move the base to the end of the main shaft. Unfold the boom of the stand and make sure the fittings hold it securely in place. Now screw on the microphone shock mount. Slide the microphone into the shock mount. Ensure all fixtures are tight. Next, plug in the female end of the microphone cable into the back of the microphone. Run the cable along the boom of the microphone and then down the floor. Align the microphone with the recording position. As you can see, my shock mount can hold the microphone upright as well as upside down. Extend the cable to the mixer. Plug in the end of the microphone cable into the mixer microphone input. Plug in the output cable from the mixer into the microphone input of the laptop or desktop. Although this is not the best way to connect to a computer, it will do the job. Remember, we are doing this on a tight budget. Plug in the return cable from your headphone output of the laptop into the line input of your mixer. Download Audacity if you have not already done so. We have covered the download address in our last tutorial. Install Audacity. This is a very normal installation process. Just follow the prompts on the screen. The next step is to set the levels for the mixer to ensure smooth and clear recording. As you may recall in our first tutorial, I mentioned the ambient room noise. With this next example, you will be able to hear the unwanted noise of the room that will interfere with the recording. This situation may be similar to what you can expect when recording at home. Once you have opened Audacity, you will notice some peak meters on top of the Audacity screen. As you can see, they are very small and will make it very hard to see where the level is. So let's enlarge them. Grab the separator with your mouse. Basically click and hold. Now drag the meter down to the main part of your screen. As you can see, the meters are already larger than before. Now grab the side of the meter and stretch it like so. Grab this side as well. Now you can see more numbers and notches on the display. Now hit the record button on the transport bar. You are now recording. As you can see, the red line represents the audio incoming into Audacity. When I'm not speaking, you can still see the audio coming into Audacity. This is the ambient noise. You can hear all sorts of things in the background. You can raise and lower the noise floor by riding the fader knob. Can you hear the difference? Here is an example of all the ambient noise in my room. Okay, this is the ambient noise in my room. You can hear the computer fan. I have turned up the volume so you can actually really hear it. That noise you just heard is my wife reading a book about 10 meters away. You can just hear a ferry boat passing outside. You can hear an aeroplane. Hear a mobile phone interference. Squeaky chair. What we are going to do now is reduce the amount of noise by riding the fader down. You can still hear me a little bit. Now this is where the microphone should sit, in front of my face. So this is where I'm going to be recording from. As you can hear, the difference between my voice and the ambient noise floor is quite significant. It is still there, but we'll be able to repair that several ways. I might close some windows, perhaps move to a different room. Make sure that your recording voice is not peaking above 0 decibels. Make sure it's around -6 decibels. Now you are ready to record. If you really like this tutorial, perhaps you'd like to donate a few dollars. There is no obligation to do so, it's just a nice gesture. Just click the donate button. It's done through PayPal, so you know it's safe. This has been a brief introduction to home recording. Please view the other videos to continue your education. If you want to learn firsthand how to go about recording at home, or recording in general, I offer personal tuition in my studio. For further information, check out the great deals on our deals page. Hello and welcome to this 4th of 6 recording tutorials. Chapter 4, Recording. The tutorials I have created are intended for people with little or no recording experience. I have tried to keep the information as simple as I can, with very little technical reference. If you have any questions, please email me at the following address: mark@homerecordingstudio.com.au. So let's begin. Considering that you have done all the preparation, recording will be a very simple process. As you can hear now, I have moved to a new location that has very little ambient noise. All you need to do is press record to begin your recording. But things get a little trickier when you start recording more than one track. This is not so much a problem when you're recording a voiceover. It's more relevant to music recording. You need to make sure that you have something that will keep you synchronized with the tempo of your first track you recorded. So the first thing I do is to create a click track at the approximate speed of your recording. You can create a click track in Audacity by simply clicking Generate on the top menu bar. Then selecting Click Track. A dialog box will appear on the screen. Here you will put in a tempo for your music, then how many beats per measure. This is usually 3 or 4, considering this is your time signature. Next you have the number of measures. This is basically how many bars there is in your track. I know I will need about 40. Click OK. Once you have created your click track, you can set the level for the click track. You can do this by adjusting the level on your mixer or with the gain button located on the top left of the created track. There is one more step before you are ready to record, and that is to make sure Audacity is going to play back the recorded track when you are recording the next one. To make sure this happens, click on Edit on the menu bar and select Preferences. In the Audio I/O tab, make sure that the play other track while recording new one box has a tick. Now you are ready for your first take. Click the record button and start playing or singing. When you have finished recording, click the stop button. You can play the track back by clicking on the skip to start button and then the play button. If you are happy with what you have recorded, now move on to the next track. If not, then delete the recorded track and then start again. To delete, select a track by clicking on the sidebar, then go to the edit menu and select delete, or hit the delete key on your keyboard. When you move on to your next track, you simply click skip to start again and then the record button. Audacity will create a new track automatically when you press record. Here is a little tip. When recording, play the whole track through even though you've made mistakes. In the next tutorial we will teach you how to edit those mistakes out. Another method of recording is dropping the track directly into Audacity. To do this, click on the project menu, then select import audio. Select the track you want to import and click open. You will see the track appear on your timeline. Dropping in music like this can be handy if you are doing a voiceover, singing over a backing track, or working with loops. Here is an example of Kansas Dust and Wind.
Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind.
Once you have recorded all your tracks, you are now ready for the next tutorial, mixing and editing. So please scroll down and click on the next free tutorial. If you really like this tutorial, perhaps you'd like to donate a few dollars. There is no obligation to do so, it's just a nice gesture. Just click the donate button. It's done through PayPal, so you know it's safe. This has been a brief introduction to home recording. Please view the other videos to continue your education. If you want to learn firsthand how to go about recording at home, or recording in general, I offer personal tuition in my studio. For further information, check out the great deals on our deals page. Hello and welcome. This is the 5th of 6 tutorials. This one is on mixing and editing. The tutorials I have created are intended for people with little or no recording experience. I have tried to keep the information as simple as I can, with very little technical reference. If you have any questions, please email me at the following address: Mark at homerecordingstudio.com.au. In this tutorial we are going to edit a very bad rendition of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 2. I will show you the examples of the original recording and how I go about editing it. Then I will lay over additional tracks to make the recording more interesting. Hopefully the result will be an audio track that takes your imagination to the scene it is presenting. Considering that I am not an actor, I will use a scene with professional actors and try to replicate their intonations and vocal mannerisms. Naturally, I will remove this scene from the background of the recording. We can do this by editing, which after all is the main focus of this tutorial. So here is the disastrous performance. I apologize to fans of Shakespeare in advance. I am going to use a performance that I have found on YouTube as my guide. I have set out my laptop in front of my microphone so I can follow this. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I've come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it. Hello and welcome. This is the 6th of 6 tutorials. This one is on mastering. The tutorials I have created are intended for people with little or no recording experience. I have tried to keep the information as simple as I can, with very little technical reference. If you have any questions, please email me at the following address: mark@homerecordingstudio.com.au. For this episode I will be interviewing Mr. Wayne Baptist, formerly the manager for Sony Music Mastering Australia. Mr. Baptist has well over 20 years experience in the field of mastering. Not only is he experienced in the actual process, but he has excellent insight into the whole process of CD and DVD production. He has mastered countless albums in all music genres for unsigned and well-known artists. So let's commence the interview, and welcome to the microphone Mr. Wayne Baptist.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
First of all, I would like to ask you some questions about mastering.
Certainly, fire away.
Okay, the first question is mastering. What is it?
Well, to a lot of people, mastering would be termed the dark art. That is predominantly because they don't know a great deal about it. It is the final creative process before you could say it hits the public. So it is like the bridge between the artist and the public.
The next question is, why should you master at a professional studio?
Well, there are many reasons for taking your project to a professional studio, but mainly it would be if you really want a quality product. So if you do want a quality product, you should originally make a quality recording, then a quality mixdown, and finally you should take it to a professional studio to have quality mastering for your project.
Okay, the next following question is, how should you prepare your work for mastering?
Okay, if you want to take your project to a mastering suite and you have looked after that project all the way. In other words, there has been a professional recording undertaken and you've professionally mixed it, then you want to make sure that it's at its best quality for the mastering engineer to work on it. So you need to look at things like level. It's very important to make sure that you don't have a pre-production master that is, you know, smashing the tops.
The next question is, can you explain a little bit about the mastering process? What happens during the mastering process?
What you really want to do is you want to make sure that you've taken care with your recording. If you have taken care, if you haven't overcompressed, if you've got very good levels, then the mastering engineer can do a great deal with it and can bring back dynamic into your mix. Whereas if you have got, you know, a lot of level going to your project and it's as they say, slammed, it becomes very difficult for the mastering engineer to do anything with it because it's already hit digital zero. So there's no headroom. When there's no headroom, there's, you know, a different process that has to be undertaken, which means that your project will take a lot longer because the engineer has to break it down again before he can build it up.
Now, here is an interesting question. Why should you take advice of a mastering engineer?
The single most important reason for a person to take the advice of a mastering engineer whilst they're, you know, in the process of engineering their project or the final output of their project is because that particular engineer, if you've chosen well, has many, many years of experience behind them. Basically, these guys have had so much experience that they will bring all of that to your project. So you're getting years and years of experience from the engineer who is working on your project, and that counts for a great deal. Now, these guys have worked on every single genre that you can possibly think of, and therefore they will have the ability to be able to understand what it is that you're trying to achieve, what kind of target market or demographic that you hope to play your music to or that you hope will buy your music once it's produced. And these guys will be able to guide you. So the mastering engineer not only plays an engineering role, but also as somewhat of an executive producing role.
Okay, the next question is, how do you find a good mastering engineer?
Well, the best way to find a good mastering engineer is to ask somebody that you know who is in the music industry. And that's a good place to start. That doesn't mean that those people are the ones that you'll be going to, but that will give you a good start.
I suppose when you do find a good mastering engineer, you'll probably find a good mastering studio as well.
Generally, that is the case. Very good engineers tend to work in very, very good studios. But you do find a lot of freelance engineers who move around, so they're quite flexible as they need to be because they will work in multiple different locations.
I guess that brings us to the end of the interview, and I would like to thank you for your time. If people need further advice, can they contact you in some way or form?
Certainly, they can contact me through your website, and I will be on hand at any time to answer their questions.
Okay, and also, do you still do mastering?
Yes, I still have a hand in the old game, definitely.
So if people would like you to master some of their work, they can, I guess, contact you through me?
Sure,
excellent.
Not a problem.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
If you really like this tutorial, perhaps you'd like to donate a few dollars. There is no obligation to do so, it's just a nice gesture. Just click the donate button. It's done through PayPal, so you know it's safe. This has been a brief introduction to home recording. Please view the other videos to continue your education. If you want to learn firsthand how to go about recording at home, or recording in general, I offer personal tuition in my studio. For further information, check out the great deals on our deals page. Hello and welcome to this first of 6 home recording tutorials. Chapter 1, Getting Started. The tutorials I have created are intended for people with little or no recording experience. I have tried to keep the information as simple as I can, with very little technical reference. If you have any questions, please email me at the following address: mark@homerecordingstudio.com.au. So let's begin. Here are some questions to be considered before you attempt recording. What are you trying to record? Instruments? If so, what type? Voice, such as a vocal group? Perhaps a solo or a voiceover? Maybe even sound effects. Once you have decided on what you want to record, you will need to look at acquiring a small amount of equipment. But we will discuss that later in the following chapter in this 6-part series. For now, let's move on and discuss the different things we can record at home and the preparation you may need so that you can record efficiently. Let's take a look at the recording space we have in our home. Here are some examples of what space you may have available in your home or apartment. The bedroom, kitchen, living room, hallway, bathroom, or garage. Keep these in mind, but let's carry on. Recording in different spaces will give you different sounds. This is because different spaces have different acoustic properties. By this I mean different shapes, different surfaces, different volumes, different noise levels. Here are some examples of recordings in different shaped rooms around my apartment. The kitchen. It has lots of hard surfaces, which means plenty of reflections of sound. There is not much here that can absorb sound. The only problem is that the fridge can sometimes create a noisy environment. The living room. This is a large space with some hard surfaces, a carpeted floor, and some furniture to disperse the sound in various directions. The bathroom. Very hard surfaces. This means a lot of reflections. We can refer to this as a very live environment. Now it is up to you. Try to find the best acoustic space in your home. It might surprise you where the best sound for your recording is. Here is a little hint. You may have noticed that surfaces like carpet, clothing, or a bookshelf seem to absorb sound reflection that we perceive as echo. There is a technical explanation for this, but perhaps I can demonstrate in this way. Imagine that the ball is a sound wave. It shoots across the room and hits a surface. Depending on how rigid the surface is, the ball will bounce off in a different way. When it hits a soft or absorbent surface, it will lose some of its energy and only bounce off a little way. If it hits a hard surface, it will bounce back a lot further. The same goes for sound. It comes back with less energy when hitting a soft surface and comes back with a relatively larger energy if it hits a hard surface. But it always comes back with less energy than it originally had. Now that you have a better idea of how sound is reflected or absorbed, you can get creative. If a room is too dead, that is no reflections, put in some hard reflective panels to breathe some life back into it. And if it's too reflective, hang up some material to absorb the sound. Here is another little hint. Start with a live room and use material to reduce the reflections rather than putting in panels to liven the room up. I used this idea when I built my recording studio. All surfaces are either timber or plaster. I have used timber to reflect the sound around the room, with additional panels to steer the sound in the right direction. Although the recording space is not huge, the reflective surface makes the room sound larger and brighter. If I need to reduce this effect, I can always hang up some blankets and roll out some carpet to achieve this. It works really well. It is a lot easier than dragging out wooden panels to liven things up. You may not always be able to select a great location for recording, so it may be inevitable that your location will have some problems. We will discuss ways to cover or overcome these problems in later tutorials.
I was always really interested in technology as a kid. When I got to college, I didn't study computer science because I kind of had this preconceived.
Εμείς στο μαγαζί, όπα τους λέω, περιμένετε. Επειδή ξέρω εγώ ότι οι Take It Serious έχουν συνεργασία περισσότερο καιρό και έχω και εγώ φιλαράκια που είχαν ψωνίσει, πήγα, έκανα έναν έλεγχο, μίλησα και με τα παιδιά μου, είπαν ότι είναι OK, μπέσα τα παιδιά, πολύ καλή και συνεννοήσιμη. Οπότε πήγα και προχώρησα και τους λέω εντάξει.